Everybody out here has a story. Everybody has a mom and dad. Everybody has a family. And so we have to look beyond what they may look like or their status in the community to be able to bring them up and out of that. And back into the light and in the mainstream.
What I do now probably won't make a difference in the whole picture of homelessness in Santa Barbara. I realize that. But I think there's a bigger thing here, and that is practicing acts of unconditional love or kindness. And that's kind of a bigger issue than just homelessness. This is like being a full human being.
So many cities go through this, and you hear this all the time, no matter what city you're from, big city, small city, on the coast, inland, where you can't arrest yourself out of homelessness issues. What ends up happening is someone goes through this revolving door of being on the street, going into jail, coming out, going into detox, coming out of detox, back on the street, and just round and round and round. The public purse just gets completely depleted with no solution on the other end.
The word showers of blessing that we use on the trailer came from, first of all, a scripture, and we always thought that it should be named showers of blessing. We had no other options, and nobody objected. And it has turned out to be showers of blessing because people have been housed, people have found jobs, people have felt renewed like a new person coming out of the showers, so it's all there.
I'll tell you just a little how I first got involved really was when Casa Esperanza was taken over by PATH, and all of these restrictions were placed. You had to be sober to enter the facility. You had to take a breathalyzer. You had to take urine samples. I found myself at the desk constantly saying no, 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 all day long, no. And I wanted to find something where I could say yes. And when I heard about the shower trailer, I said, perfect. Because that's all we do is say yes. Very rarely do we ever say no.
The shower started out just by providing showers for them, private shower facilities, so they can groom and bathe with dignity, and then of course giving them clean clothing and new underwear, new socks, and toiletries. But what it's developed over the years is now we are more kind of the resource. We're directing them to Doctors Without Walls, Common Ground, AmeriCorps, or different housing, C3H, Central Coast Housing. So that's what we're doing now. It's just much more than just the showers.
Because these people haven't bathed for a long time, the smells are kind of sometimes intense. The amount of hair in the drains is sometimes amazingly intense. Pubic hair, toilet tissue, stools in the toilets. But you know, that's all part of just human existence, and so I can't be grossed out by it. I just clean it, I flush the toilets, I clean the toilets, and I think again, you know, what if it were I?
You sit and talk to somebody for 10, 15, 20 minutes and hear their story and the things that they have to go through and how they have to manage to make it through the day, and you begin to realize the things that they have as obstacles that make it so difficult that you, if you had those obstacles yourself, would wonder how you could actually do it yourself if you were in their shoes. And once you heard 2,000 stories like I have, you begin to realize how hard it is for these people, and it's not just a choice. There are choices in how they act out to the things that happen to them and that they put themselves in, but they are also riddled with anxiety, they're riddled with uncertainties, they're riddled with not being able to trust their own minds and their own thoughts. When you begin to hear the stories and you understand the struggles that they have, you stop and listen a little bit and you'll understand that they need a little bit more than the average person. Some people are willing to give it, some people are not. I'm willing to give it because I think it helps.
If people are worried about people taking advantage of them, I think you take that risk. I think some do, and most don't, and you just have to ride with it. I just don't think there's any way to correct that.
I understand when I'm a police officer talking and interacting with them that I get lied to pretty much all day long. I don't take it personally. I understand that's a way for them to have the mechanism in place to get what they need.
We know that there are people that take more than others do, and we try to look at it just, but we've got people that have used us, certainly. We've gone through, some people have gone through 8 sleeping bags, you know what I mean? And then we hear that they're out there selling these sleeping bags for $5 a piece, you know, brand new sleeping bags. But they'll come to us and go, we have nothing to sleep in, and, you know, we get taken. Everybody does.
And these people are children. They may not look like it, they may not behave like it, but their coping skills in life are pretty much like children.
I don't know, I raised 4 children and it's almost the same thing, except they're just bigger enough to hurt you now instead of being children.
We're kind of worried about the ones who never come to the showers. It's like, where are they and why not? We don't understand that.
You have people that on the first of the month, when a lot of people get paid somewhere in the neighborhood of $860 in SSI subsidized living assistance with the check, they get paid that much money. They'll spend it in 2 or 3 days in a hotel, partying it up, going in 3 or 4 guys and just make a ruckus. And none of them will use the showers, even though they haven't showered in months. It's not their priority. I believe that as much assistance they can get in getting showers and bathroom, it's necessary. But let's not assume that that's what they need, and that's the thing that will fix them and their lifestyles.
I think the difficulty with working with the homeless and working with anybody who is really disadvantaged is it brings into question your own wealth and privilege, and it causes me and my wife to question, do we deserve this?
There's different levels of homelessness. There's situational homelessness, there's temporary homelessness. People don't see it. They think of homelessness as just homelessness straight across the board. It might be as simple as just losing an apartment or a residence, and these people do want to reestablish themselves and get back. It could be losing a job that has caused them to be temporary or situationally homeless, and those people want to get back. And then you've got the people that are dealing with psychological and mental deficiencies that they may or may not be able to, even given the hand up or a hand out, they may resort back to the street life that they know because that's what they're comfortable with after these years. We've seen it at the showers where people have gotten back and back into the working and starting to accumulate money and going back to a normal lifestyle.
I was homeless 3 times in my life, and 4 years ago was the last time I was homeless. 2 days after my release from my year-long rehab, I became the operations manager for Showers of Blessing.
I was at a couple times in my life without a home, and I was fortunate to contact friends of mine who allowed me to stay with them, but that was not good for me just because I felt beholden and I felt embarrassed.
So I have a few degrees, mostly in physics. I studied physics in undergrad because I found it very interesting. I completed my PhD, defended it, and taught at UCSB as an adjunct lecturer for a few years, but was really struggling to make things work financially. I've been without housing. I was not camping out on the streets, so it's a very different type of homelessness than many people are aware of, but for 3 months I did not have housing, and I was moving pretty much every day or two between different friends' places until it just became too much and I kind of broke. And some friends who were tangentially aware of my situation but didn't know the exact details heard more about it after this rather dramatic suicide attempt. And so they allowed me to stay in their place at their house rent-free for about 9 months. And now I'm still finding my way as I get back into the working world and living on the good graces of other people.
I'm homeless right now. You know, I've been on these streets for about three and a half years. I sleep at a church near here that lets me sleep there because I'm keeping all the graffiti taggers and stuff from writing on their walls. I do the cleaning of showers of blessings. I sign people in for showers and things like that.
To be honest, like, I've had like education, and I'm stuck here in Santa Barbara. I'm not from Santa Barbara. There's like a whole, I'm here this is what happened. I was here, my friend got raped, and I beat up the guy who did it. I got sent to prison for assault. I'm now on parole. I'm stuck in this city. I can't leave. I can't afford to live here unless I want to work a couple jobs. And it's like, so then I'm just like working my life away just to live here. That doesn't sound very cool to me. So I'm just kind of hanging out until I'm done with this, and then I'm gonna go work and go back to my family and stuff.
So part of what we try to do in the government level is to create those collaboratives and between government, nonprofits, social service agencies, the faith community, business groups, who can all coordinate together in figuring out what does that one person need and who's in charge of making sure that that person gets everything from whatever capacity is available to them.
It's a constant juggling act. It's like having 7 balls on fire in the air at the same time, and that's my job. And it never comes to an end. But if you can raise the level, you're operating at a higher level of efficiency with them and their quality of life, and it's better for all of us.
I've always wanted to do things to help people, but I've come to realize that when I do things to help people, I'm doing it more for me than for other people. And it's because it makes me feel good to do nice things for people.
I'm impressed with religious organizations who've adopted showers of blessings because they seem to share this idea that we can all say yes, even for some little things, to make a difference in their lives. You want a pair of socks? Sure. You need some new underwear with your shower? We'll give you some. You know, or those pants are looking pretty ratty? We'll give you another pair of pants. And hope to see you next week.
All right, kids. I'm going back to wash the showers. Mwah!